Hello, and welcome back to another episode of How a Shark Thinks. Today's game was as a lemon in Cove, not a shark that I usually play, so it was interesting to see how this played out. I started off sprinting without cloak, and the reason being is that I want to break at least one of the walls when I get to safe 1. I cloak after breaking the wall and wait for a good opportunity to strike. Lemon works much better as a following shark rather than a leading shark, which is why I've been waiting for my teammate to make his play first. He's an oceanic whitetip, which is a pretty potent leading shark. I aimed for the distant diver first, who was able to see both of us instead of just the whitetip. Always want to minimize the risk of being killed. Now I could have lunged away here, survived and healed, but I decided to damage this diver and die on purpose. The reason for that is so I can buy double time and have my mobility upgrade from the get-go. Now that I've broken the walls and gotten double time, I can cloak the moment I spawn for my ability to start working on its cooldown. I take a lunge on the isolated diver, but I don't sprint forwards so that I can stay out of the other's line of sight and dart backwards to avoid getting hit. Even though Lemon is a follower shark, I see my teammate breaking the wall opposite of me, and there's a diver in the way. So, I take my chance and grab said diver, hoping to sprint thrash out of the room using the shark highway. This is a really stupid play, because one of the divers spawned while I wasn't aware, and they could have killed me, but I waited and managed to get the kill regardless. The real big mistake here was healing while visible to divers in the room, which lets the diver that just spawned score a fatal pot shot. My next upgrades are going to be the ability, mainly for faster kill times. I get in position and one of the divers is swimming around my highway again, so I take my chances. There's a sloppy escape on my part, but the presence of my teammate in the room has grabbed the enemy team's attention. They would have otherwise chased and killed me right there. I'm keeping my eye on the safe room while I'm healing, because I'm tagged, and I don't want to be oblivious to a chasing or sniping diver, all while remaining behind cover. Steve is moving, and a good opportunity is about to show up. My cloak lets me position myself without having to worry about this flare. And I go for the diver in the back since the others aren't watching. I also get to hide in the first safe room and avoid fire. I see my abilities about to be ready again, so I wait a bit before I go for an attack. The presence of these walls is obscuring the diver's vision, so I quickly go to check on the gaps between the tunnel parts. Surely enough, one diver is obliviously collecting gold. I grab him and immediately sprint upwards for better access to cover. There's only one diver spawn and he doesn't see me despite lack of cloak, so I take this opportunity to get a free kill. I sprint into position and I don't lunge until I'm next to Steve so that I don't get awkwardly stuck behind him. The walls help me hide myself until then. The ability is ready, our health is looking good, and one diver is a bit too ambitious. I missed my lunge because I failed to predict his dash, and this duel is pretty risky as Lemon is squishy and he knows I'm onto him now. Luckily, he doesn't have enough damage to put me down, so I win the exchange. Bit of lag there, that was pretty weird. It might look like some BS happened here and that I should have gotten a hit, but really it was just me aiming a bit too high. Hearing the explosion, there definitely was a mine that wrecked all of those walls, so I turn around to see if any divers have decided to come out in the open to shoot the whitetip. One of them was too far out and gets punished. I get behind cover in case someone tries shooting at me, but only one diver is spawned, so I quickly go for a kill before the others respawn as well. Steve is moving again, always gotta take note of that because it brings opportunities for kills with it. Now, Mines are not capable of detonating until their chain reaches the floor, so there's like a brief moment where you could go through the mine and still be safe. Unfortunately for me, despite knowing exactly what he was going to do, I was too late. After upgrading ability, I don't know how to build this shark in all honesty. I picked Serrated teeth, and I know what you're thinking, isn't that a terrible evolution overall? Well, see, I picked it for 3 reasons. 1, I don't know how to build this shark. 2, Lemon has bonus damage on top of the already good thrash damage it has when lunging out of cloak, so I'm playing to its strength by adding even more damage on top of that, as it would have a higher chance of scoring bleed kills than most other sharks would with Serrated teeth. 3, I still don't know how to build a shark. Not a fan of the pat sitting there, so I take it out and get behind cover after an easy exit. This next attack is just pure stupidity. There was absolutely no reason for me to do it. I was hoping for at least a 1-for-1 trade, but the nether stops me from doing that. What really should have been done there is waiting for the teammate to make their play, and then follow them up with mine. I did get one of the divers to really low health, which leads to a death by bleed. The other diver is still bleeding, and there is a shark screen, but the medkits they need to stop it are all outside the safe room. They don't seem to have purchased any either. So now I'm waiting for one of 2 things. Either the bleeding diver risks it and goes out, or he bleeds out and dies. The diver chooses to die. I was gonna wait on my teammate to make a play here, but one of them is swimming in front of an exit and they're 1 diver down, so I go for it. I keep swimming to the right to avoid line of sight. I swim away and then back in to avoid getting peeked at while under spawn protection. Then I attempt a really risky trade with one of the divers. Lived, surprisingly, and another shark screen gets tossed down, but the white tip is already on it. Since he's inside, I follow up as well. I was considering an attack, but yet another shark screen is put down. So I quickly go for a heal and come back instead while my teammate is making their way to there. I only see 1 diver on Steve and another spawn just now, so at least 1 diver is straggling behind. None of them have line of sight on the tunnel between safe 3 and safe 4, so it's a safe grab. And though this is a done game, I'll show just one more thing. In this attack, the diver enters the shark screen, but I've managed to see his outline right before that. And plus, his flashlight is still on, which gives away his position. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you in your sharkly endeavors.